Karabo Finger's legacy of a rain queen, the eagle's martial, takes us to the mountainous city of Nelspruit in Mpumalanga, where Nolwazi and Mohale begin their tumultuous romantic love affair. Born from two completely different tribes, the two face all the odds that come with such love, which challenges them and their generation by shaking their cultural beliefs. This is the first book in the series, and Karabo dives deep into South African heritage to fictitiously outline the history and culture of the Bolobedu tribe. To tell us more about this offering, we are joined on Skype by the book's author, Karabo Finger. Karabo, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Morning, how are you?
I'm very well, Karabo. It's good to have you on the show. Let's first start with a foreword for this book. It's from our current poet laureate, Nolwazi. Tell us about that and what this means to you as a writer.
It was a chance meeting between me and Nolwazi. I gave him the manuscript at the time. He read it several times. He fell in love with the story. Especially about indigenous knowledge systems, African spirituality, the Rain Queen. And we developed a good relationship around the story. And he came to share his own journey of initiation with me throughout the process. So it was a good meeting. And yeah, when I approached him to write the foreword on the book, he welcomed the proposition, and I think he did a good job on it.
And do tell us about this book and why you decided to focus it on the history of the Rain Queen and the Bolobedu tribe using the works of fiction.
I undertook initiation 6 years ago, and it was around the same time that I decided to study further about my people, Bolobedu. Especially about the Rain Queen, the customs and traditions, who we are, and how do we practice it in the modern life, in the modern day, in the modern life. So that came together with the journey of initiation, and I decided to write a story about it. And how it came together was through the love story between Mohale and Nolwazi. And I set it up in in Nelspruit, where they came to meet, where they started this love affair, and it became a journey of reawakening for Nolwazi, because she unknowingly comes from the Rain Queen people. This is her background, so she needed to have this reawakening because there is this responsibility that lies on her shoulders about her taking a position as the Rain Queen.
Okay. You say that this is all about the reawakening of the journey of Nolwazi. And I see that the story begins and focuses on the turbulent love affair between Nolwazi and Mohale. Take us through this and how the story develops from there.
Mohale is an initiate himself. He knows more about Nolwazi than she knows about herself. Mm-hmm. So his mission is to help her attain this reawakening, because he understands the importance of it. Whereas Nolwazi is sort of in a cloud, she's living her life. She lectures at the local university. She has an interest in knowledge, in indigenous knowledge systems, because she teaches African history at the local university. But this is where her interest ends. She's not interested, and yet she has these dreams and visitations that she's really not interested in deciphering what their meanings are. So as we follow their journey, it becomes clear that Nolwazi needs to wake up, and everything lies upon her reawakening.
And a huge chunk of the book is based in Nelspruit, where you so beautifully paint its nature, its landscape and inhabitants. Why this particular setting, though?
It's beautiful. I also moved to Nelspruit in 2016, and I decided to make it a setting because it became a sort of like an exploration for me as well. And as I began to write this book, I decided, okay, this is a perfect setting because I'm also exploring this beautiful city, this beautiful province. And I not only keep it in Nelspruit. There is the Blood River Canyon. We also revisit Makungubwe. And later on in the story, there's a good portion where it is set in Great Zimbabwe. So I want to celebrate and showcase our beautiful heritage as Africans, where we come from, our history, that we should be proud of it. We should encompass it into our daily lives. We should actually showcase it to the world so that we also have a sense of pride about who we are and where we come from.
Yeah. And do unpack for us the significance of the martial eagles in the book. I mean, you dub them as the immortal ones.
That is correct. The martial eagles come in as messengers from the ancestors. So Nolwazi is plagued by dreams of eagles. She has visitations in her waking life from these creatures. And it's a scary experience for her to see this. So I based the title of the book on martial eagles, which is one of the most beautiful eagles of Africa. And it is a spirit animal, but in the book, it represents not only messengers from the ancestors, but also Nolwazi's spirit animal, which is her totem animal.
And Karabo, I quite enjoyed how you were very detailed in describing the characters, the food, the indigenous people and the culture, but without giving much away, thus leaving room for the reader's imagination.
This is true. I just wanted to give a taste of, especially Bolobedu, our culture, which is little known. As far as South Africa's tribes are concerned. So Bolobedu are proud people. We have our own cultures and traditions. So I wanted to showcase this in this book about the food that we eat, our customs, and how proud we are to be who we are.
Now, this book is fiction, but it does contain factual elements. Just take us through the amount of research you had to do when you were putting this book together.
It was a lot of research. I did a lot of reading, including books that were written before, anthropological studies about Bolobedu, dating back from the early 1930s. I did a lot of reading about, the history of Great Zimbabwe, dating back to the 17th century. I also did a lot of study on the geological history of South Africa, the cataclysms that took place that give shape to the mountains and valleys, especially of Limpopo and Mpumalanga. I fell in love with the study. And I'm actually really proud that it came together in this beautiful tapestry of fiction. But anybody who reads the book will feel inspired to investigate these landscapes for themselves, to investigate the cultures themselves, and get to know for themselves who Bolobedu are, who they are.
Yeah, and apart from just investigating or feeling inspired to investigate the culture, the readers will get to know why the book, Legacy of a Rain Queen, won third place at the Dinana Debut Fiction Award in 2019. It really is a literary masterpiece. Thanks for chatting to us this morning, Karabo. We do appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It's all a pleasure. Now, joining us via Skype there is author Karabo Finger, and we were just in conversation with her about a recent book entitled The Legacy of a Rain Queen, The Eagle's Marshal. It is 10 minutes before